Okay, let's assume that we have already gone through the basics of the game. So we all know how the game works, we know the mechanics of the game. So let's just progress into 6 different things that I think every new player should take note of. Every new player needs to know. Okay, so number 1, if you're at my stage where you've just completed the adventure as far as you can possibly go with full stars and everything, right? As far as you can go. And then now you're kind of like stuck in the grindy stage of the game, okay? So what you can do is, this is the place where you get the most bang out of your buck, okay? So let's take a look at the first challenge over here. Get high rarity gear, Astral Shore, okay? So this is a place where you're going to be spending most of your energy, apart from possibly doing your daily, your 2 dailies over there, your daily over here, and your daily over here as well, and blah blah blah, okay? So the Astral Shore is where you're going to be spending most of your time. And naturally, you would want to go to the highest floor that you can actually access. So for example, I've so far unlocked difficulty level 30, but I have not actually completed it solo, right? So what you can do is actually do difficulty 30 on the team fight, okay? So you just find someone who can carry you, and then you should be good to go. So if you're stuck on 25 doing solo, move on to 30 doing team, okay? So that's the best place to spend your energy. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, okay, so when you're inside, right, so here's like some important tip for you. If you take a look at the top right, I've actually unlocked 2 different bonuses, but as you can see, there are actually a lot more. You can unlock full team of what's that, nature, is it nature? Earth element for block, and a full team of shadow for more damage, okay? So these are some of the buffs that you can unlock. So these are really important as well, don't sleep on it. Take note that even though you look at my team, there is only 1 earth, 1 light, 1 dark, 1 fire, and 2 light. Okay, so that's not enough to give you a bonus, right? However, if you notice on the right side, on my support screen, supporter number 1, she's light, supporter number 2 and 3 are actually fire type, and as such, they actually add up to the bonus of your elements. So as such, this way, I actually have 3 of each, light and fire, which gives me more crit, which is super good. I think that's the best bonus so far. And of course, all allies damage reduced by 10%. I mean, well, the damage that we take at least. So that's tip number 2, support element. You can actually use supporters to boost your elemental combination if you did not already know that. Okay, so moving on to tip number 3, we're moving quite fast here. Team auto. Okay, so for example, if let's say we're going to do difficulty level 30, right? So it doesn't matter whether you are creating, whether you're hosting, or you are joining. Okay, either way is fine, either way works as well. If you could, let's say you're going to create, right? Let's say you're creating and then you're letting people join. What you can do is just press AI mode, press activate, and the AI will actually wait for the slots to fill up. The AI will wait for both parties to get ready, and when they're both ready in about 3 seconds, the game will actually automatically load. Okay, so there you go. The game has actually thrown me in. It has actually put me into the ready mode, as you can see at the top left right now. And yeah, we are going automatically. So this is really awesome. Even if like you're using a Samsung device or something and you can actually lock the screen while playing, you can actually continue running this automatically so long as you have energy. And if you're out of energy, you can of course customize the automation to refill for you with whatever resources that you have, alright? Okay, and then now we move on to tip number 4, which is perfect now that we are here. If you're on auto, right, you can actually select the preferences of your units on what skills they want to use. So this actually helps in not only PvE but PvP as well. So it's really important. If you take a look at the bottom right, tap avatar to adjust casting order. So you just need to tap on your hero and you can actually choose like what's the preference of you using the skills. So I can actually just swap this skill around like that, and she will actually perform the second skill instead of the ultimate. So that's going to be really important, especially in team building. But do take note that if some skills don't have cooldowns, like for example this, right, there's no cooldown and it costs 3 stars each time, okay? 3 energy each time. You are just going to be using your ultimate all the time, okay? So that's something for you to consider. If something doesn't have a cooldown, you're just going to be using it whenever you can afford it. So yep, do take note of that. So that is tip number 4. Okay, and tip number 5. Okay, so whenever the team completes a turn, so as you take a look at the top right, we are currently at turn number 5. What this means is that, like for example, you start off on turn number 1, what happens is you gain 3 stars, right? But when you start turn number 2, That means when everyone has taken a turn and you start off on turn number 2, you will actually increase the number of stars that you recover each time by 1 more. So that will become 4 stars, and then in turn number 3, you recover 5 stars, so on and so forth. So after this turn, after the next 2 turns, after the 2 enemies take their turn, you should see that we increase a lot of stars, right? So like as you can see in the bottom, we did increase actually about, I think, 7 stars in one go. So that was enough to fill up my whole star meter just like that. So that would be a really important tip in team building. So you might want to start off being a little bit more defensive, or you can actually be a little bit more aggressive. It's up to you, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be able to throw in a lot more skills along the way. And after you're done grinding out the equip challenge, what happens is you will get some runes. Okay, you pick up some runes from the challenges, and this is where your characters really become the best of their abilities. Okay, so if you go to the artifact tab, I think it only unlocks when your character is actually level 22, your player level is 22. You actually be able to unlock artifacts like this. Okay, and then as you can see at the bottom, there are set effects. So depending on what artifact set you're using, what zodiac you're using, is it zodiac or is it horoscope? It's one of those. Okay, whatever you're using, it actually gives you a different bonus. So for example, Scorpio gives you, for example, if you evade, you do more chance. You have more chance to counter attack, dealing 100% of your strength or int can be triggered. Blah blah blah. So it's gonna be really useful, especially if you can stack it until 12. Okay, and then some people might be wondering, how do you stack it until 12 when you only have 5 slots? Okay, so this is how you do it. You don't actually need to stack runes, rather artifacts. You don't actually need to stack artifacts individually 4 or 5 times in order to have a 5 stack over here. Rather, as you can see, like Sagittarius 3, this is like the 3rd rarity, right? So it goes from bronze to silver to gold to, I don't know, I have not seen the 4th tier, but on the 3rd tier, it actually gives you 3 points towards completing the set, towards fulfilling the set. So Sagittarius 3 over here plus the Sagittarius 2 on the right side, that will actually give me 5. So I actually need another 3 more elsewhere in order to unlock the next tier of this set effect, I guess. So yeah, do take note of this, because like when I started the game, I was a complete noob, and I didn't realize that you can actually stack effects just like that. Okay, before we end off the video, there is one more bonus tip for you guys. Okay, so this is tip number 7. Definitely do join a guild ASAP. There is a button that actually allows you to auto join, like quick join or something like that. You can just go ahead and hit that button, because it's gonna be a pain in the ass to look for guild to accept you. Okay, so as soon as you play, as soon as you unlock the guilds, definitely join one immediately, because of 2 things. Okay, so if you go to construction at the bottom, if you have Goddess Favor like I do, you can actually get 30 stamina a day, 200 of these guild contribution tokens, 100 guild funds, which just benefits the guild in general, and of course the heroic grail, which is meant to improve, is meant to gain more of your SSR pieces. Okay, free to play way to gain your SSR pieces over here. And what you can get with the contribution tokens is you can go to the shop and you can actually buy summons. You can buy some other good stuff. I'm not sure what Eye of Horrors do. Oh right, Eye of Horrors is actually to learn guild abilities, which is my next point. Okay, so if you go on the right side of construction, you have ability over there. This is where you really gain a lot of stats. It's a tremendous amount of stats over here. So you collect these Eye of Horrors along the way by doing quests, by completing missions, and each of them can actually be used to upgrade your team-wide stats. Okay, so for example, there's crit boost, which is huge. This is huge. So plus 8% of crit for everyone in my team. This is really big. There is penetration boost. That's what she said. There is speed boost. There's all kinds of stuff. Okay, so depending on like how you want to play your game, okay, depending on the focus of your team, are you going to be more defensive or are you going to be more offensive? Here's where you make the difference in your lineup. Okay, so of course, like all this stuff, you got to make sure that you're upgrading it right, because I don't think there is a reset button. Yeah, so I don't think there's a reset button. It's going to be really difficult to get back all these resources. So do plan your route extremely well. So that's it. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was informative. If it was, do me a favor and share this video to your friends, and it really helped me out a lot. Leave a comment and leave a like and subscribe if you have not already done so. And of course, I will see you in the next video.